Hey guys, GhazzyTV here with another Path of Exile video leading into 3.18 Sentinel League. And as most of you already know, I will be league starting as a mage skeleton build, and I wanted to talk about my farming strategy that I'll be using in 3.18 on launch. A couple of things that I have as goals. I will be crafting the meta minion helmet, of course, the mirror version. I'll try to get that done within the first couple of days of the league, see if we can actually manage that goal. And our other goal in this league is actually to reach 100 mirrors. It's going to be a little bit of a tough challenge for us, since I did officially state not too long ago that all my mirror service items that I will be crafting with my mini team will be free of charge for anyone who wants to mirror them. So we'll see if we can reach the goal during the league. It's going to be fun either way. But part of how we're going to reach this amount of currency is actually by using Harvest. And there's something that came up that we discussed the other night, and that is to run a specific farm strategy, which I'll be talking about right now. So the beginning farming strategy is going to be very simple. It is to be creating a situation where we drop as many maps as possible. So I will be starting by rushing out to getting a strong box. I will skip essences and go straight up here, go to the left, pick up shaping the mountains, go to the right, pick up shaping the skies. And do keep in mind that I have tons of Atlas strategy guides in the guide hub that we have linked in the descriptions below. There are beginner strategies, there are endgame farming strategies, a ton of different variations of the trees, including variations of what I'm going to be doing myself. I'll run a very specific one designed for me personally. Once I've gotten these two shaping nodes, I will be speccing in to expert reconnaissance, as well as the commissioned officer, and picking up shaping the valleys. Once I have this, I have a pretty good approach of generating a ton of maps early on. I got scouting reports to give me those extra maps that I haven't completed yet. And this is how my baseline approach will look when it comes to actually farming out the map completions. So once I have these nodes, I'll start nibble in on the other nodes that I want to go for. Most importantly, early on, will be to get the Harbinger nodes, which is located on here, Ominous Arrival, as well as Unspeakable Offensive, as well as the First Wave. These nodes will be very valuable early on for the currency shards, but also the Rogue Exiles together with Ruckus will be very, very good. And the reason for this is because Rogue Exiles drops a full set of gear. This is very valuable early on, especially with just generic stats and attribute rings and amulets. They're actually worth a lot of currency early on in the league. But also for the people that for some odd reason likes doing chaos recipes, they can actually use this to very easily get the chaos recipes going. A quick note on the tree is that the Wrath of the Cosmos is something that I will only take up once I have a really good gear on my character, because without a good gear set on my character, this will be very devastating. So I'm going to wait with this till the very end. Other than that, I will then start blocking league mechanics, which is something I'll do rather late in the completion sets as well. Instead, I'll be running over to the Eldritch Gaze and get these altars to be more of a value to me. I'll also be picking up the strong box of duplicate currency, and also making sure the bosses can drop some maps, that is Conquer, Elder, Shaper, and whatnot. And then obviously going into Shadow Hunger. Early on, I will actually skip the left-hand side and prioritize on blocking the league mechanics down in the bottom early on. Once I've done this, however, once this is done, I will start blocking league mechanics, and then, because I'm not taking these nodes, I will spec into the Stream of Consciousness. And the reason for this is to make sure that I emphasize on the approach of getting very specific league mechanics. Now, Harbinger is not part of this, but the mods that we will be emphasizing on is actually Shrines, Spirits, Exiles, Shrine Spirits, Exiles, Harvest, and Strongboxes, out of which a couple of them we actually want. So this is why I'm doing this, and this is as long as I'm not running with Scarabs, I will be doing this. If I run Scarabs, then I will take away this node entirely, and just every now and then we're going to have, some essences and some other things as well that we're going to be popping from the elite mechanics thanks to the blocks. But most importantly with this strategy is to remember map equity, because the strategy with this is to have a favorite map. We'll be focusing on, let's say that we're going to, for the sake of the argument, run cemetery maps. In 3.17, we ended up in a situation where we had hundreds upon hundreds of these maps that went to the point where I stopped looting them. However, what I will be doing is that once I have too many of my maps, I will remove the Exile nodes, and I'll put those points into Concealed Logistics. That's 3 out of these 5, and the other 2 I will put into Singular Focus. Now, the reason for this is that I will also remove all of my favorite map pools right here. There will be none. This means that the Singular Focus makes it so that there's 200% more chance to be a favorite map, but non-favorite maps will drop as basic currency instead. Because of this, I'll be in a position where every single map I drop will be basic currency, and I'll do this to the point where I have maybe 15, 20 maps left of my favorite maps, and then respec it back to the Rogue Exiles and keep going on farming my map pool again. So I call this sequence a map dump sequence. And the reason this is so cool is because we can actually make this even crazier. The way map equity system works and the way map drop system works is very simple. When you have all 4 void stones, you can drop tier 16 maps only. So if you drop a tier 1 up to tier 15 map, what then happens is that provides a numerical value to a hidden thing called equity. And when that equity reaches the threshold of you getting the possibility of dropping a tier 16, so even if you drop a tier 2 map, if that tier 2 map gives you enough equity value to move your hidden pool of equity to the threshold of dropping a tier 16, you will instead drop a tier 16 map. And that's the only time you would get currency. So the solution to this is very, very simple. You pop a map like this with your 4 void stones. Then you control click your void stones and they'll be stored on the side here. Now you can go into the map and being in the case where you actually have your void stones with sextants and everything will be affecting your map, but every kill you do can now allow you to actually drop maps from tier 1 and higher. This means that every single map you drop, instead of adding to a pool of equity value, they will be an actual drop, which is then converted into currency. So this allows you to get a stupid amount of currency. And since this strategy is best run without streamer consciousness, because you can use things like cartographer scarabs, which increases your percent map drops even more, this will further escalate the amount of basic currency you get from doing this strategy, which is absolutely fucking insane. And then what you'll do when you get down to 15, 20 maps left of your favorite map, you respec out of the singular focus, as well as the concealed logistics, get back to your regular strategy, and start running your maps normally again. And at that point, you don't need to store your void stones, and you can just control click these back and forth. So this takes like less than a second to move back and forth either way. So this is a very simple way to do it. A little bit of snapshotting action going on, but that's the way I will be running this strategy. And in the later game, when I have some better gear, so about 5, maybe 7 days into the league with better gear, I'll start using the Wrath of the Cosmos, but I won't do that in the first couple of days of the league. So that's basically the strategy that I'll be running. Obviously, there will be a link in the descriptions below to this specific Atlas tree, and I hope you guys will have use of it. Yeah, hit the like button if you like the content, subscribe for more content, and don't forget to leave a comment below what you guys are going to start with and what you think of this strategy. Until next time, and good luck on the league launch. Stay safe. Keep rocking.